So I spent last night doing something I do every single week. I sat down with the global top 50 and I just listened. But I wasn't listening for hooks and I wasn't listening for lyrics. I was listening for the clock. See, modern is a moving target. It's a point in time. What sounds cutting edge today is literally the dated sound of tomorrow. As a producer and a mixer, I've realized that my job isn't to make a song sound clean. It's to give a song a chance to have a lasting legacy. I've been noticing some massive shifts lately, things I'm infusing into my projects. As a producer and a mixer, I've realized that my job isn't just to make a song sound clean. It's to give a song a chance to have a lasting legacy. I've been noticing some massive shifts lately, things I'm infusing into the projects I'm working on right now, to make sure my artists aren't just competing, but actually leading the sound of the future. We're talking about the death of the wall of sound and the rise of dry and expensive textures, and why perfect is actually starting to sound old. If your mixes feel cluttered, or if they feel like they're stuck in 2015, it's probably because you're missing these 3 specific pillars of modern production. Today, I want to break down what actually makes a song sound modern in 2026 and how we can use those trends to build something that actually lasts. Before we get into the technical stuff, I want to share a quick story with you. It's always good to know where the pulse of music is. I think as a producer, it's important for me to be able to bring things to the table for the artists that I work with to help to elevate their sound and do 2 counter things at the same time. Help differentiate their sound from other artists that sound like them, while also helping them fit in with their genre. Now that is a tough balance, but it is possible. And that is the magic sauce that we're trying to capture. And it's not always about where things are now, but more importantly, where things are going to go. And having a pulse on where things are currently will help you to have a more educated guess on where things could go, or what could work, or how to be creative in new ways, or take things that are going on now and be creative off them. Maybe riff off them and create something new. Now, let's look at the first big shift I'm hearing right now. The first thing that defines a modern sound right now is intimacy. For decades, we used reverb to create space and to hide imperfections. But look at the biggest hits of the last 2 years. We're seeing the cathedral sound a lot less. We are hearing vocals that are way drier, heavily compressed, and tucked right against the listener's ear. It's that ASMR quality. Because our technology is so good now, our converters are cleaner, our rooms are quieter, we don't need to hide voices in a wash of reverb. We want to hear the texture. We want to hear the vocal expressions of the microphone. When you hear a vocal that feels like the artist is standing 6 inches away from you, it feels modern. If you're still putting a 3-second tail on every single lead vocal, you might be dating the mix. Now, I'm not saying you can't put a 3-second tail on your lead vocal, but what is important is to create that space so that when the vocal is playing, that it is sitting right up front and it's not getting bogged down by a bunch of reverb. What I would suggest is try using short delays or a very tight room sound. You can use long hauls, but you have to make sure that they're ducked down so that you can hear the vocals. You shouldn't hear the reverb, you should only feel the space. The other thing is you're going to use more reverb, automate the reverb so that when the vocal is singing, it ducks down and gives the vocal the focal point. And when the vocal goes away, that's when that reverb should come up. The second shift is in the rhythm section. We're moving away from perfect MIDI sampled drums that sound like they were born in a computer. I'm hearing a lot more dead drums. Think about producers like Jack Antonoff, or even what's happening in modern indie pop. They're using acoustic drums, they're muffling them with towels and tape, and they're driving them hard with saturation and parallel processing, and sometimes even over compression. Modern music right now is about transparency. We've moved away from that wall of sound where you have 50 layers of synths all fighting for that same frequency space. Now it's about having 1 or 2 really unique, complex textures. If I can hear every instrument clearly, If the drums have room to breathe and aren't being crushed by a wall of noise, that feels modern. Space is an instrument. Space is an instrument. If your track is packed from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz with no gaps, it's going to sound like a relic from the loudness war era. The third thing that I've noticed that makes songs feel modern right now is the melding of genres. We're seeing a lot less boundaries being held between genres in pop music. You're hearing hip hop and R&B artists making country albums. You're hearing country artists making rock albums. And I think Taylor Swift has hit on every subgenre of pop music. Modern artists, producers, and mixers aren't afraid to pull textures from other genres. I'm seeing that a lot in my own work. Artists are coming in saying, I want this to feel like a singer-songwriter track, but I want drums and punch like a Kendrick Lamar record. That contrast is what makes people pick up on a song. It's that, wait, what was that moment? Now, you don't have to blend genres to be a modern pop musician, but even picking up one or two little things from another genre can help your track sound more modern. But here is the most important part of this whole video, and it's something I really want you to take away. Modern is a snapshot. What is modern now will change. In 5 years, 2026 dry might sound dated. If you chase the trend too hard, you're just building an expiration date for your song. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning. There's this invisible balance between holding on to what's modern, but also being creative enough to create the sound of the future. And sometimes the sound from the future pulls from previous decades or eras. And we're seeing that a lot with modern music right now, with a lot of throwback sounds and feel to the 80s. And we saw that in the 2000s and the 2010s with a lot of throwback to the 70s era as well. And I feel like those decades are still influencing modern music today. And they are part of that new modern dry sound we're hearing. When I work with artists, I tell them we want to use these modern textures, the dry vocals, the open space as a flavor, but we have to anchor the song in things that don't age. That means great songwriting, emotional delivery, and solid arrangement. I try to hit the 80-20 rule. 80% of the song should be timeless, and 20% should be the modern edge that makes it move with the current trends. That's how you stay relevant today without becoming a remember that sound joke in 5 years. This is why I do what I do. So now I want to hear from you. What's a modern song that you think will actually sound like a classic in 20 years? Drop it in the comments. I'm going to go through them and see if they hit these markers of space and intimacy we talked about today. And if you're an artist and you want that modern edge on your next project, but you want it to actually last, hit the link in the description and let's talk about your sound. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this helped you see your mixes a little differently. I hope you're having a great day and keep making awesome music.